I am going to declutter my entire house in 2 hours or less. My nightstand has always been and always will be a red flag for me. We gotta do a full climb for this one. What is wrong with me? What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to today's vlog. If you are new here, my name is Beth. I make all kinds of motherhood and lifestyle videos here on YouTube, and today I am going to attempt the unthinkable. I am going to declutter my entire house in 2 hours or less. Right now, my kids are currently out on an adventure with a friend, my husband is away at work, and I have an opportunity to go through as many of the rooms as possible and clear out a lot of junk that has accumulated over the last little while. We moved to a bigger house and started buying more things. We had a baby, we've been undergoing renovations, and so it has been too long since I've gone through and done a declutter, and that is what we are going to do today. But before we get started and before we get all hot and sweaty and smelly, I need to tell you guys about today's sponsor, and that is Native. I am super excited to be working with Native on today's video because I've actually been personally using their products for years. For something that I'm putting on my body every single day, I want to feel very confident and comfortable with the ingredients, and I love that Native deodorant is aluminum free, paraben free, phthalate free, cruelty free, and vegan. The ingredients are clean, simple, and they provide odor protection up to 72 hours. The other thing that I love about Native is the scents. They make the most incredible scents, you guys, and I thought I would show you really quickly the ones I picked up in my last order. This first one is vanilla and sandalwood. I've definitely been wearing this one the most, and the deodorant goes on just feeling like a very smooth and soft application, so you can kind of just get ready and leave the house right away with it. And this one is one of my favorite scents ever. I also decided to pick up the eucalyptus and mint, which is a little bit more of like a just like earthy natural scent. And then the last one that I picked up is the coconut and vanilla. And this is one that I have been using the most over the past 2 years. It's just such a nice, like beachy and fresh scent. But this time I actually picked up the coconut and vanilla from their sensitive range. This is actually a baking soda free formula, and it's made with coconut oil and magnesium oxide derived from the Dead Sea, which is pretty freaking fancy for your armpits. So if you are looking to make the switch over to Native, or you're just wanting to stock up on some more great deodorant for the hot summer months, Native has a special offer for viewers of my channel. When you order through the Native website, 3 deodorants would typically be $39, but if you use my code BethGrace at checkout, you will get 3 for just $27, and that is over 33% off. I highly recommend Native and can't wait to hear what scents you guys try out. So head to my description box or the pinned comment in the comment section to place your order. Thank you to Native for working with me on today's video. So the room that we are going to get started in today is the kitchen, and I'm a little bit nervous because I have not decluttered this space since we moved into this house a year ago. I feel like glassware and decorative things are always a good place to start when you're decluttering, but for me today, I'm thinking through, first of all, whether I use something. If I don't use it, then that's an obvious donate. But if I don't use it, but it's still beautiful or practical, then I might keep it for a little bit longer. And the other question that I'll ask is whether something is sentimental, because I might not use it, it might not be practical or beautiful, but some things are just sentimental and you want to keep them for that reason. I'm going to be putting things into 3 different categories today. The first category is donate. The second thing that I'm going to be doing is rehoming things. So if they have ended up in the wrong spot and need to be put back to where they actually belong, I will be doing that. And the final thing is just things that are garbage or trash. Some things just need to be thrown out. So let's dive in. Okay, so right off the bat, this is a water bottle that is a little bit sentimental to me, but I lost the lid on it and have just been like waiting to find it and have not. So that's gonna be going. And then I also think I have some mugs up here that just need to be rehomed. These ones belong down here. These glasses up here are not our main drinking glasses. Most of them are actually in the dishwasher right now, but I break glasses, you guys, often. It is a problem of mine, but I don't want to have not enough drinking glasses because I find that I'm replacing them so often, so I am going to keep these ones here. But these mugs up here are just not mugs that I'm using. This was a gifted mug. This one also came from a brand, and it's really cute, but I don't ever drink a coffee that small. And this mug is also cute, but if I'm being honest, it's not really necessary. These ones I'm gonna keep because they are a wedding gift. They are from Anthropology and I love them if I'm having tea with a friend. So those two are special to me, but otherwise, all of these items can actually be donated. Moving on to the insides of some drawers. I'm terrified because I know this is gonna be embarrassing. Okay, so what lives in here is kind of like my kids' cutlery stuff. And then anything else outside of that, I don't really know if I want it to stay in here. So like, for example, this Aesop hand cream, that can come out. We have a little bit of crazy glue, which could definitely be rehomed. These are fertilizer pegs for my plants, so this is also just a strange spot for those to be. And then back here is actually a bag of stuff I forgot that I had. These are all like reusable bags for just storing snacks, storing food stuff. And to be honest with you, as much as these things are awesome, I don't ever use them. I personally much prefer to use like glass storage containers and snack cups and things for the kids. And I have not reached for these probably in the 3 years that we've had them. So I'm actually gonna put these in the donate pile as well. Back here, we have some more gum as well as more fertilizer pegs, which is just a weird thing to have stored in your children's cutlery drawer. So those are coming out. And then the last things that I have in here are just these like child-safe knives for cooking. Looking at this full set, I feel like it's a lot of things to have like from a child-safe knife perspective. So I'm actually gonna get rid of a couple. And then these two larger tools that won't fit here, I'm just gonna store in the back of this drawer. This is looking much better. I don't even know what I would categorize this drawer as, but I feel like I need to just start emptying it and see what should actually stay here long term. Ew, this is disgusting. There is always an Allen key in a junk drawer. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna keep in this drawer. We have the oven mitts, we have those little kitchen essentials, we have some tape, some scissors that are just a backup pair, as well as these pens. And I feel like this is everything that I actually reach for when I come to this drawer. The things that I do not reach for are all of these random like household keys that I honestly don't even know what they are, and I need to rehome with my husband. These outdoor things, which could actually end up somewhere in our laundry room because we do have a little basket of stuff specifically for the outdoors. We had 2 knife sharpeners in there, which is just hilarious to me because my husband just bought this one and I think that he probably just didn't even realize that this was shoved in the back of that drawer. And then there was also just a bunch of like little random garbage things in there as well. So these will go to the trash pile. We gotta do a full climb for this one. I don't know about you guys, but I find that this cupboard above the fridge is where things literally go to die. On top of the fridge, I'm also storing quite a few coloring books and just like art things that I actually did go through the other day. So I don't think any of this is quite ready to be like thrown out yet. But what I have not done in a very long time is actually open this door, and I think that I've intentionally put things in there that I know are not like that high value, so I imagine that there's gonna be a few things that I can get rid of. First of all, big fan of the Bible, but I don't know why we are storing one on the top of our fridge. Okay, so this is not as bad as I thought. I'm gonna bring you guys in so you can see what's there. It's just a bunch of random decor things, but I think most of these candles are actually almost like fully burned through, so there are some things I can get rid of. Okay, this is another corner I've been dreading. This is my decor that I like but don't want to have out all of the time section of our kitchen. So I just know there's gonna be stuff in here that needs to go. Right off the hop, I see something that I do need to hold on to. We are going to be renovating our kitchen very soon, and so I have some handles here that I've just been storing until then. So I'm just gonna move those off to the side. But I do think that anything that's like very seasonal decor could actually go to that spot above the fridge, especially now that it's pretty empty up there. Like I have little pumpkins and I have bunnies for Easter and things like that I've just been keeping in here. But to be honest with you, my toddler often opens this cupboard specifically, and these types of things are the things that come out. So I think just to keep these safe and to make this more practical, I'm actually gonna put these in that spot that I need to access way less often. Can you donate something that has your name on it? Okay, raise your hand if you have way too many of these pictures from IKEA. A little bit of Christmas, a little bit of Easter. Okay, so to give you a peek inside, here is what I have kept. Down here is everything that either needs to be donated or rehomed. So I have a bunch of just like glass jars and vases that I need to donate. I keep finding random water bottles that I don't recognize or believe we have actually ever owned personally around the house. So I think these are just things that people have forgotten here. Containers that don't match with the container sets that we have. And then up here, I also have a bunch of just like holiday specific things that I'm also going to move into that top cupboard above the fridge. We are now moving on to the bathroom, and this is an area that I have been meaning to declutter for so long. I feel like I've just gotten so many trial things over the last few months and things sent by brands that I'm so grateful for, but can't use all of on my own. And so I need to find some things in here that I can actually give away to some other people, donate, and of course throw out as well. So let's dive in. I think it's probably safe to say that this hair mask is done. Okay, so this Revlon blow dry brush I got as a Christmas gift a few years ago. I have not used this thing more than probably 6 or 7 times in the years that I've had it. I just find that it's really clunky. I find that my hair still looks a little bit frizzy after I use it. So I am actually going to be finally donating this now. I think it's time to part ways. Okay, so this drawer specifically has been restored to working order, and it is now what it is intended to be. So it's like hair specific tools, some hairspray, some clips and things like that. The things that I'm taking out are the blow dry brush, this like weird foot mask thing, a highlighter that I'm gonna pass on to a friend, this sunscreen that I'm gonna pass on to a friend because there's still a lot in this bottle and it's a great sunscreen, but we got gifted another one this year from a brand and I'm just not going to be able to use both of them up before this one is expired. And then also these Flutter Habit eyelashes. I am just not a fake eyelash girly and I could not get these to work for me, but I do have friends that still use them and I think someone would actually love to receive this. So I'm going to give this to a friend as well. All right, this drawer I have a little bit less confidence in. This has been kind of the zone where some samples have gone to die. So let's go through everything. This is actually a curl cream. So I'm gonna pop it down into my hair care drawer. I am holding on to 3 lids from dry shampoo. What is wrong with me? We got some more sunscreen. This one's from Versed and I just have not been using that because I use a stronger SPF. So I will give that to a friend. I've got some Super Goop and this is probably expired now because I've had it for years. This is actually vile. This is an open lactic acid treatment from Sunday Riley that God knows how long I've been holding on to. So that is in the trash. We have some expired super serum tint from Ilia, some hair growth spray from Moray. You guys always ask about my hair and like postpartum hair loss. I absolutely love Moray's products, but I am gonna hold on to it and use it to the end. We got some samples from the dentist, belly serums that I'll save for later. You guys, I have postpartum, literally like vagina spray in this drawer. I don't really know what to do with this because I think that it would probably have an expiry on it, but I'm not expecting that I'm going to need this for a while. And this feels like a weird thing to pass on to a friend, but Clariderm is also expensive. So I don't know, what would you do? Of course, some more Native coconut and vanilla, a classic. I have been holding on to this Summer Fridays retinol for so long because I cannot wait to be done like either being breastfeeding or pregnant so that I can use retinol again. And I know that the day is coming, so I'm gonna hold on to it for just a little bit longer. Oh, we got the Tartelette Toasted palette, but she is not really in great shape anymore. I think I might also give that to a friend. Here's what I reset. I almost want to get like a little container or organizer for some of the standalone products that I have here, but those are all staying. And then I have a spot for my merit bag. And then over here is the pile of stuff that I'm getting rid of. All the garbage has already been taken care of. All right, we're gonna open my nightstand. My nightstand has always been and always will be a red flag for me. I don't know if I've done a declutter of this since Jude was born, but the thing that I have the biggest problem with is cords, you guys. I don't know how I collect and just like lose track of what cords are for, but it is such a disaster. So I'm pretty sure that this cord actually goes with the Owlet baby monitor, which is not something that we're really like using anymore. So I think that I honestly just need to sell that. I think part of the issue is that for my Ava bracelet, I need like a very specific cord. So I have like a few of them because I never want to not have a cord and then not be able to like charge and wear my bracelet, since that is like my method of birth control and like staying on top of where I'm at with things. So I'm always just like very intense about keeping those cords. And then the other thing is I think the Kindle actually uses the same cord as that. And so I just have a bunch of random ones for that. And then I'm like a serial iPhone cord hoarder, but nobody needs to have this many iPhone charging cords. So some of these just need to be donated. A whole breast pad from the thick of the newborn days with Jude. 2 essential oils that I used when I literally gave birth 9 months ago. I don't even know why I still have this remote because we don't even have an Amazon Prime stick anymore. And then the last thing that I have in here is about 1,000 hair ties. All right, here's what the drawer looks like now. I kept my Bible stuff because I do just like to read my Bible right after I wake up in the morning, and I usually store it right under there. And then I kept my Kindle, the books that I'm reading, my Ava bracelet and the charging cord for that, this little pillow spray, and a lip scrub. And everything else that is over here is either going to be rehomed, thrown out, or donated. Okay, quick food and water break. An area that I'm actually not going to be decluttering in this video is my closet. And that is because a couple of months ago, I actually did a huge closet declutter, like when I was postpartum with Jude. I feel like I got my wardrobe just so minimal from that declutter that there's not that much to even declutter right now. If anything, I honestly need to add a few more pieces to my wardrobe. So if you guys are interested in seeing more of like a capsule wardrobe type video, now that my wardrobe has been pared down so much, let me know. But what I do really need to do in fast is a declutter of the kids' room and the playroom, because I find that when my toddler is here especially, she doesn't want to let go of anything, even though there's a lot of stuff that she doesn't play with actively. So that's what we're gonna do next. Okay, the first zone I'm gonna start in with here is this basket. I keep 99% of the kids' toys in the playroom. This is like one of the only exceptions to that, is having a couple of things in Viv's room. And I started doing that when we introduced her to quiet time because I wanted her to have the ability to have some things to play with. So we're gonna go through it and see what we can donate. You guys, this basket stresses the heck out of me. I don't understand not having like shelves to put everything on, because now that I'm just so used to that mode of operating where you can see everything and know where all the pieces are, thinking of just like having everything thrown into a basket is like so overwhelming. Okay, here is the donate pile from the kids' room. Just things that I don't really see them playing with. However, this one of Vivian's friends loves, so I'm gonna set that aside for her. All of these are books that have been very well loved, but are not in really great shape anymore. Like, a lot of these have just been absolutely destroyed by my kids over the years. We have just like little stuffed animals and things that don't get played with. And then this little set of flashcards. I feel like we've had better ones. I honestly don't think that the like pictures that were on here were very helpful for teaching language. And they were just a little too specific. Like, I'm not super concerned about my kids learning the word fun or hut or things like that. So I am going to donate this as well. Welcome to the playroom. We have had a couple of playdate casualties in here in the last little bit. So ignore all of that, but this is where 99%, like I said, of the kids' toys are. I keep everything in this room, and this is what I use to do all of their toy rotations, and so it's all in here. But it's been a very long time since I've gotten rid of anything, and there's a bunch of stuff in here that I think could probably be rehomed. So we're going to go through and try and get rid of as many toys that are not being played with anymore as we can before my toddler gets home. So when it comes to the playroom, I have a rule with kids' toys that whenever we get a new toy, it has to fit in the playroom, and it has to be able to fit in either a spot that is out in this room right now or in these shelves. I think there might be like 1 or 2 things that are stored in the kids' closet right now just because they're so much bigger, like the push-along walker and things like that. But for the most part, I do try and stick to that rule of having things stay in this room. And that has been one of the like #1 things that has saved my sanity in motherhood, is just not having such an excess of toys all the time that they start overflowing out of all of the rooms and the kids are suddenly not playing with anything anymore because it's so overwhelming. And so I really do try and keep everything pared down. At the same time, it does definitely make it harder for me to be very strategic with what we end up keeping and holding on to, because kids don't actually need that much, and I find that they honestly play better when they have less toys available to them. I have to admit that I am pleasantly surprised with how limited the chaos in the playroom was. Over here are some outdoor toys that have just found their way inside over the last little while. So this actually goes with a sand bucket she has outside. This is from her playhouse. I don't know how it got in here. And this watering can I usually leave outside as well. So those need to be moved to the backyard. And then over here was it in terms of like garbage and donate. So I have a couple of books here that I'm gonna donate. I have these little animal flashcards that my friend actually got at a garage sale, but we have some other flashcards that I've honestly never opened these with the kids. I also feel like they had a little bit of just like gunk on them, and I didn't want to like one by one clean them. So going to be donating those. I have a couple of just little things over here. These are part of the kids' music set, but I often do just take them out whenever I rotate their music set in because the pieces on them are just like a little bit sketch with little kids. So I'm actually just gonna get rid of those entirely. I have this toy. This is like a little Love Every bag that we just never really made good use of, and I would love for it to go to a family that would. We have these little KiwiCo bean bags, these little plastic shovels that I feel like I just keep finding a million of as well. This is a water well book we've had for a while that's just really scuffed up now. Some random little garbagey type things, and then some other things in that wooden bin that I found could be good to donate as well. Okay, you guys, I have approximately 20 minutes left. So far, we have done the kitchen, we have done the bathroom, we have done both bedrooms, we have done the playroom. Now it is time for me to do the living room. As you can see, I keep things here very, very minimal. So the only places where clutter can really happen are in this basket here and then in the sideboard, which is behind me over here. So we're gonna go through both of those spaces. This is honestly one of my favorite ways to hide clutter. Essentially, I use a blanket basket to kind of hide any random things that may belong in the living room for a while or end up here and then need to be taken out, which is what we are going to be looking for today. This photo frame in here is a funny story. This ruggable rug that I'm sitting on right now, we got a couple of months after we moved into this house, and it was when I was figuring out like art for the walls and things like that. And so I was sitting on it one day with a cup of coffee and I dumped it everywhere by accident. And this photo frame was one of the things that was a casualty of that. So I think I chucked it in here wondering if I could ever salvage it, but then have just kind of forgotten about it. It was so sad because this is such a beautiful print, but there is coffee stains all over the mat on the inside now, and you might be able to remove it if you had like white nail polish or something like that. But I think I'm probably just gonna donate this because that is not a project I want to take on right now. For whatever reason, I have 2 Instax cameras in here. We also have a Jesus Calling devotional and one of my husband's journals. Under all of that, we have leftover things from Max, who now has like lived with my dad for over a year. So these gotta go to my dad. And then last but not least, this nasty computer case that I don't know who this belongs to because I've never seen Jared use it before either, but we're gonna donate this, and of course, another iPhone charging cable because apparently I can never have too many of those. Next order of business in the living room is the media console. So for full transparency, this is what is currently in here. I have done my best to not overfill this. That has been something I've been committed to since we got it. Right now, it's just storing some of my husband's gaming stuff and then like actual games down there for when we have company over. This is a funny thing, but I forgot to pack these stockings into our Christmas stuff when we tidied up from Christmas last year. And now all of that is like in the rafters in our garage. So those are honestly just gonna stay here till December and we're not gonna talk about it. One of the things that I committed to myself is that I wouldn't use this for toy storage. And there's like some random things in here that I wanna go through, including this little newborn fold up visual stimulation thing. I honestly don't even know what you would call that, but I need to put that away with some of the other newborn stuff that we have because I did just put all of that stuff in bins to go up into the garage and I would love to have this go with it. So I'm gonna put that aside there. But honestly, everything else that's in here just doesn't need to be. I have a little instruction manual from a toy. We have little hats for Vivian's babies, 2 balls that should definitely be in the playroom, plastic minion card that can be recycled, and an Elsa wand. So because cleaning that up freed up this basket, I'm going to use this for just storing some of the other like technology type things that don't currently have a home and are just floating around in the console right now. Well, you guys, here is the final result of my declutter and purge of our entire house in 2 hours. To recap, we made it through the problem areas of the kitchen, both bathrooms, the living room, the bedrooms, the hall closet, and the playroom. And I am so tired, but it felt so good to just take a look in all those areas and see what things were no longer practical for us to hold on to, what things had just been kind of sitting there collecting dust. And now all of these things get to be passed on to families that will actually use them. And that is such a good feeling. I have a whole nother pile on the other side of this camera of things that now need to be rehomed and put back into their proper places, as well as a big bag of garbage here of things that just did not make the cut, things that won't likely be accepted by a thrift store. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that it was motivating for you to set a timer and just see what you can accomplish in 2 hours when it comes to decluttering. Don't worry about cleaning, don't worry about reorganizing, just focus solely on what you can actually get rid of in your home. And I think that you'll find over time, the more that you do that consistently, the more that your home will feel orderly and peaceful and less chaotic overall. I'm happy to report that the vanilla and sandalwood is still going strong over here. Wanted to remind you guys that if you want to save 33% on your next order of native deodorant, you can find the link to do that in my description box or pinned in the comment section, and use the code BethGrace at checkout. So thank you to Native for working with me on this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Happy decluttering, and until my next video, I love you guys, I'm praying for you guys, and I will see you soon.